Hello, and welcome to the first edition of the Blue Army on Manoeuvres podcast, produced by the London branch of the Carlisle Supporters Club. And what a first edition we have. We've got a fantastic game coming up at the weekend, Carlisle United versus Sutton, on the back of what was an absolutely amazing weekend for the club, probably the best weekend since we went up. A well-deserved 1-0 win at Wilston in front of 600-700 Carlisle fans, and then in the sunshine of Brooklyn Park, a 5-0 demolition of an admittedly woeful Braintree team, but it's just got to fill you full of optimism. Maybe we are finding our feet finally in the division after the Solihull and Boreham Wood games. But what a man, Regan Linney. Absolutely fantastic, to see him go to Warwick like 3, arms aloft, like a messiah, and he probably is going to be the new messiah of Warwick Road and the paddock and the East Stand and anybody who follows Carlisle. Well, firstly, we're going to take a sneak peek at Sutton Cricket Club, who are hosting the London branch's pre-match drinks and ticket distribution. We've had 2 or 3 events there before. We've had before both games, previous games at Canning Green Lane. We also had our 50th anniversary celebrations at the cricket club, and they're a very welcoming club. There is a big cricket match going on at the time there. They're playing their third. They're playing, I think, the top place team in the Surrey Premier League. So it's going to be an absolutely fantastic atmosphere. It's quite near the centre of Sutton. It's a 10-minute walk from the railway station. I think bus 213 goes quite near it. So I'd urge any Carlisle fan who fancies a nice relaxing pre-match drink to join us at the Sutton Cricket Club. We also have a mad keen Sutton fan who supported them since the age of 6. He's actually a friend of mine, so this was an easy one to get. He actually runs the pub that I'm sitting in at the moment doing this. He's also a Welsh fan of Wales. Follows Sutton everywhere. Has been to Carlisle on a couple of occasions. I introduced him to the rugby club for a pre-match drink a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 seasons ago. So he's given us the lowdown on how Sutton have gone so far. And it's also an absolutely fantastic pleasure to have an interview with a player who's played for both Sutton and Carlisle. Signed for Carlisle in 2022, was with us for 18 months, scored 4 goals, including a couple of really memorable goals. Tobi Silva, who's had a really incredible career, interesting career, is now plying his trade at Kidderminster Harriers in National League North. But he has a great story to tell, and it's very well worth listening to. And finally, we have a little cameo from Sutton's most famous supporter, who is also one of Britain's top comedians. So, enjoy. Here I am at a lovely, quiet Sutton United football club. I'd like to thank Phil Tattersall of Sutton for allowing me in to do a brief filming. It's really quiet here. As you can see, the pitch is looking perfect. On Saturday, it's going to be a lot louder, a lot more boisterous, with hopefully up to 700-800 Carlisle fans. Since we were last there a couple of years ago, the visiting fans have been moved. We're no longer behind the goal. We're alongside the pitch at the far end, opposite where we were before, at the corner area, which the local fans call the curver. We use entrances 5, 6, 7 and 8 to gain entrance to the ground, and the entrances are once again, as last time, from the park. So we basically head to the ground exactly the same way, where the entrances are just a little bit further along from where they were before. I'm at Sutton Cricket Club at the moment. This is where Carlisle United have our pre-match meet on Saturday when we play Sutton United. And I have the pleasure of sitting here with Peter Edwards, who organises the junior cricket here and is also club administrator. Thank you for agreeing to speak to us, Peter. Do you know what the link is between Sutton Cricket Club and Carlisle United? Is there a link anywhere?
Yeah, it's essentially the Clarkson family. Simon was on the committee and treasurer of the cricket club and was made a VP of the club, vice president. And his son, Sam, played cricket for a number of years, come through the junior section and played for a number of years very, very well. And before he decided to move back to Cumbria.
Right. And Simon wasn't a cricketer, you never got him in the whites?
I can't remember ever seeing Simon in a pair of whites, although my memory might not be correct. I don't remember him playing at all.
Yeah, do you reckon he'd have been a batsman or a bowler? He's a big physique.
He's a big lad. He'd probably be a fast bowler, I would have thought.
Fast bowler.
Yeah, fast bowler, yeah.
It's never too late, Simon, when you're watching this. But this is this club's been around since 1857, and I think you've been on this patch of turf almost since then.
Yeah.
So it's obviously seen an awful lot of history. I think the Luftwaffe did a little bit to the pavilion during the war. I was reading on your website, but you've also produced some, the odd sprinkling of county players, and you've even got one current England international to boast as an old boy.
Yeah. So the England international is Jamie Smith, who's had a fabulous year for England. He came to the club round about 2006, 2007. And has progressed through the ranks of Surrey cricket and made his England debut this year. And he's had a highly successful season.
It looks like he's going to keep the wicket-keeping role for some time to come.
Yeah.
He could join the Alex Stewarts, Alan Knotts, line of greats, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, he's had a fabulous start to his international career, and we're all hoping it continues.
Does he still come back here?
Yeah, he's hopefully going to come down for our Colts presentation evening and award the medals and cups to our junior.
Yeah,
which would be very nice for him. But yeah, he still stays in touch with the club.
Yeah.
He hasn't let his success go to his head in any way.
Yeah, I understand he was also quite a talented footballer as a youth. Did I read he was on the books of AFC Wimbledon for a while?
I understand that, but he's just a naturally talented sportsman.
He could pick up a bat or a cue or a whatever. And he's one of these guys who can, just do it.
I would imagine so, but I understand there came a point with his football where he had to make a choice between football and cricket.
Yeah.
And he appears to have taken the right choice.
Well, you see, Carlisle going back, one of the heroes of Carlisle's past, we were talking earlier about the mid-70s, and you recall Carlisle being briefly top of the First Division, but of course, our midfield was led by a guy called Chris Balderstone, who played football for Huddersfield and Carlisle United. Carlisle United for about 10 years until about 75, 76. But of course, he was also a Leicestershire cricketer. Played for England as well, and he became a test umpire. So I think the days when you could juggle a professional football career, I think the Comptons did that as well.
Really well. I don't think it's not possible these days. I don't.
No, it's not. The club wouldn't allow it, whatever level. It's difficult. I think both of them tried it for a while.
Yeah, both of them was a decent footballer, but
I think Scunthorpe.
Scunthorpe. I think he was a centre half, but it's not really possible these days.
I couldn't have seen Beefy in a kind of midfield, soft midfield role. But on Saturday when we're here, you've got an important. Is it East Molesey?
Yeah, we're playing East Molesey, so our first 11 are third in the league at the moment.
Yeah, something
like 8 to 10 points behind the leaders. Unfortunately, we lost last weekend because we were top.
Yeah.
But 2 games left. If we win both the games, we've got a chance of winning the championship.
Well, that's a Surrey Championship, which you've won before, because you've pretty much been in it every single, the top division every single year.
Yeah, we've dipped in between what's now the Premiership and the First Division over the last 15 years, but we've always been in the top 2 divisions,
Yeah. Well, who are your closest rivals normally?
So the 2 clubs that are first and second are Wimbledon and Reigate.
Yeah.
and they're historically very, very strong cricket clubs.
Yeah, so they're the team, because there's teams in Epsom, what have you, as well, isn't there?
Yeah, so East Millsey, Esher, Dulwich.
It's almost a derby every game.
Yeah, well, it's all very local.
Yeah.
It's all very local, but they're our two rivals this year.
It's a good quality league, isn't it?
It's very, very good quality.
It's top league in Surrey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Anyway, brilliant, Peter. Thank you very much for your time.
No
I hope
problem.
that's given the guys who are coming along to the game on Saturday, the Sutton United versus Carlisle United game, just a little flavour of this absolutely superb cricket club, absolutely fantastic facilities, and I hope we can get as many of you along. Also, cheering Sutton Cricket Club, hopefully to a win in their league.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Cheers.
Also, at the pre-match drinks, we're going to have the wonderful Anna going around asking you for your prediction on the results of the Sutton versus Carlisle game. And it'll be on our Facebook site, and it will be on our London Branch's website shortly after the weekend. And to paraphrase James Stewart in It's a Wonderful Life, every time a bell rings, somebody gets the prediction right. You played for, Carlisle are playing Sutton on Saturday. So what we look to do with the podcast is to get a former player who's played for both clubs. Oh, awesome. And you more than fit that bill. You signed for Carlisle. Was it Keith Millen was the manager at the time?
Keith Millen was, yeah. He was the manager.
Yeah. Now, you came to you came up to Brunton Park with Sutton on a Saturday. You came on as a substitute, had a really good game.
Yeah.
And a few days later, you signed for Carlisle. Now,
yes.
Two questions there is, did you have an inkling before you came up that you were due to sign for Carlisle, or that Keith Millen was interested? And although you'd spent a little bit of time earlier in your career up at Inverness in the Scottish Premier, did you have any qualms about sort of leaving the south and moving up to the wild north?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I remember that game fondly. It was, I wasn't 100% sure. My agent did say that there was a little bit of interest, but nothing concrete. But I think the 20 minutes that I played must have convinced Keith Millen that he needed a bit of show silver in his team. Yeah. So straight after that, I think, somewhat interest was more concrete, and then the ball was rolling.
Right. Did you have any? Did you know Keith Millen beforehand? Because obviously he's Croydon, so he was. It's a big place.
I know. Yeah, no, I didn't actually know him beforehand. But where I was living in Sutton, obviously wasn't a million 2 miles away. I was down in Purley, so that wasn't even too far away from Croydon. So always like to check out the manager, where he's from, if we'd spike up a good relationship. So
yeah, he lived in my old street in South Croydon. But when you joined, obviously the team was struggling. Did Millen feel like a manager under pressure?
For me, I wouldn't say that he did. He was really quite composed. Obviously, he understood the situation that the team was in, but he gave me a lot of belief. He gave the boys a lot of belief, and was actually quite surprised when he did leave. I know the fans had high expectations from being such a big club, well followed. But I didn't feel like he was under much pressure.
Yeah. Did you get a sense when you moved from Sutton to Carlisle? I mean, I actually live in Sutton, so I've got a bit of sympathy for him. But did you actually feel like you were moving to a bigger club, bigger stadium, more fans, etc.? Did you get the sort of the bigger club vibe with Carlisle?
You know what? I'd played for bigger clubs before, like you mentioned, Inverness and Charlton. I knew what a big club sense was, but I didn't really know where Carlisle was. Only when I went up there was the first time when I played for Sutton that I'd actually gone up to Carlisle. But actually seeing it and sensing it, I could sense that it was a club with big expectations. And I guess that comes from a lot of history from the club in the past. So I loved my time at Sutton, a great family club. Probably one of the highlights of my career, playing for Sutton and winning promotion to the EFL for the first time, 125 years. But obviously I knew what success was as well. in terms of when I was at Halifax and being at Sutton. So I knew what it took to win, which was...
I mean, you had a really good goal scoring
so,
record at Halifax in the National League, didn't you? You got into double figures, and when you started at Carlisle, you scored some momentous goals early on as well, didn't you? You scored an incredibly late equaliser at Colchester in just your second game, and then a few weeks later, you got that absolutely mental goal at Tranmere, sort of 90 plus 7 in front of the travelling Carlisle fans, and I was reminding myself of it in the video on YouTube earlier, and your arms are off, you circle in the box. It was a great moment. I mean, you must still remember that with some fondness.
It was good, and I think they're the moments. I always say, football's really about moments and people, you know. And as fans and as players, we're all here to make memories that we can talk about for years to come with the people that are in the same kind of location and path as us. So it's I won't forget my time at Carlisle. And so
when Keith Millen went and Simo arrived, I mean, did the whole place just change overnight in terms of expectation, excitement?
I think
the guy's a legend in the town.
Yeah, he's definitely a legend in the town, and I've got big respects for what we achieved as a team there with him at the helm. I think with I guess a manager who's brought you in, you kind of step into an unknown, because a new manager brings new philosophies, a new style of play, and sometimes you don't know what you're going to get with a new manager. But he was good from day one.
You had a good relationship with him.
Yeah.
He used you for that first season. You were mainly on the bench, which I guess was a little bit frustrating. And you certainly helped. You contributed with those goals I was talking about. It must be frustrating to be on the bench so often. Did you chat to Simo about that? And obviously, you would have wanted a place in the starting lineup.
Yeah, of course. That's the reason I guess I made the sacrifice to go from South East London to Cumbria. You know, to play football like every footballer wants. So, but you got to understand at the same time that as footballers, we're part of a team. You know, and I think sometimes that's in the back of our minds too often, that we're trying to achieve something for the club. And he always used to say that no one's bigger than the team themselves. And that when you're ready, play your part. So I understood that, as frustrating as it is. If you throw your toys out the pram, it doesn't often help you get in your shirt. So kind of muck into the vision of the club, and conduct yourself in the right manner. So I've got a lot of respect for Simo, a lot of respect for him.
Yeah, he's still, you know, I think he was a little bit unfortunate at the end, but he's still well remembered in Carlisle. I've got one question here. Somebody put it to me. Something about a pre-match routine.
Yes.
Yeah, both 6-yard boxes, all 4 corners, and the centre circle.
Yeah.
Now, what is that all about?
Oh, so interesting. It's something which I remember watching a video of Wayne Rooney back in the day, and he was talking about when David Moyes was his manager, and he never let him train when it was in the rain. He always told him to come in, and Rooney went back to Moyes, and he said, "How am I going to have a picture in my head of what it's like to play in the rain? You know, for when the time comes." And ever since then, I've been doing visualizations on the pitch, just getting my angles right, getting distances right. Some pitches are a bit bigger, some pitches are a bit softer. But one of my big things is I like to pray on the pitch as a Christian myself. My faith is a big part for me, and centering myself around where I am today. I think so many times in my early stages of my career, you can not be present. You can be there, but you're not there. You know, and I don't think you can afford to do that as a footballer. So for me, I'm always like, let me get on the pitch, focus in on this 90 plus minutes, trust in the Lord, who gives me my confidence, my faith, my purpose, my identity, my freedom, and really just set myself up in good preparation for what I would say is arguably the most important 90 minutes of the week. You know, so
good. But obviously, your faith is probably the most important thing to you in your life, is it? Or
I would say it is. It's kind of it is the foundation to everything. I strongly believe, and I think so many people have so many big questions about life. Why am I here? Who created me? Where do I go and where do I turn when I'm down and low? And I strongly believe that God created us to have a relationship with Him. And in that relationship is found the true life and everything that you need for life and godliness. So, yeah.
But you've used your faith in a footballing sense as well, haven't you? In terms of 2023, you won a PFA Community Award for the work that you did in the community, and I understand that some of that was kind of faith-based, mentoring young players. I mean, that must have been a really, really proud achievement in your life, and must give you great satisfaction. And I'm guessing you're still continuing that work where you are now.
Yeah, still continuing that work for myself. I know what it's like to be down and out and kind of not have anybody believe in you. And I strongly believe that God believes in me, loves me, and loves me enough to be able to share that love with other people as well, whatever that looks like. And I'm a big believer that everyone deserves an equal chance and equal opportunity. So any way I can help and be a blessing is what I'm all about. And I guess that stems from, in 2017, started a charity around my faith and supporting players of faith and people that are looking for hope. So we've done charity work around the world in Rwanda, Kenya. We've gone to Albania and Kosovo, done football tournaments, which has been amazing. And then done loads of stuff locally in universities, schools, prisons, just sharing the hope that we get from our faith, and hopefully to be a blessing and a support to others.
Well, listen, I can make no promises, but I'll see if I can. It's obviously good work. The London branch. I'll see if we can help you in some way.
That'll be it. That'd be amazing.
I guess you're always looking for the folding stuff because nothing's cheap. Even trying to help people has a cost to it, doesn't it?
It does.
They're absolutely fantastic. Conscious that I don't want to take up too much of your time.
No, honestly, I'm good. I'm good for time. As long as you got some good questions, I'm good for time.
Well, to be honest, some of these questions came from Andy Hall.
Yeah. Oh, Andy.
Andy, yeah. And one of his questions is, when are you going to buy him the cup of coffee you promised him 3 years ago?
Tell him to get himself down to London, and then I definitely get him one. Now I'm due to go back up. I'm still connected with the church there, the Elam Church, the club chaplain Dave Allen was my pastor at that church there. So it was just a really good relationship that we built up, me and my wife. So yeah, definitely due to go back up. So when I do, I'll be knocking on Andy's door. Don't worry about it.
You do that. But yeah, just a couple more questions anyway. You've had a decent football career, but is it frustrating that you didn't make a bigger mark at some of the clubs?
It's an interesting one because
something you've come to terms with now.
It's a really interesting question because as much as I'd love to change my journey, I think I wouldn't change it for the world. And obviously I would have loved to make bigger marks, but I think one of the things I'm quite big on is leaving good impressions, whatever that is. Whether it's on people, whether it's on teams. I've had great success in my career, I believe, from where I've come from. And the things that I've achieved, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch as well, has been quite good. And I think sometimes, for whatever reason, things don't necessarily always fall into place. But I've always said to myself that I'm Tobi who plays football. Football's one of the things that I do. And Tobi is who I am. And one of the core concepts, I've actually got a book coming out this Christmas called More Than a Footballer. And it's a little bit about my journey, but it's a little bit about other areas of players' lives outside of their football identity. So I'm really quite big on winning. I love winning. I'm all for winning, but I'm all for winning both on and off the pitch. So yeah, some things are within your control, some things aren't. I would have definitely probably paid myself some more money as well, given myself a few players of the season. But yeah, just reflecting back on it, it's been a good journey so far, and we're still going.
So what does the future hold for you then? Because at the moment you're playing for Kidderminster Harriers. They seem to be going pretty well at the moment. But you're commuting up to Kidderminster from London, or across to Kidderminster from London, are you, or have you relocated?
Yeah, been able to relocate, which has been quite nice. A little bit closer. So, yeah. What does the future hold? I don't know. I'm a big believer of kind of leveraging relationships to be able to help other people. So, any way that I can, hopefully, my name's mentioned, it's in a helping capacity where I've helped someone up, or I've helped someone forward. I've helped open a door for somebody else, and my big heart is for the 98% of players that don't make it, for all the players going to retire one day, and what's next, for the life off the pitch when they've had a bad game, or even if they've had a good game, how are they doing, as individuals? So I think some sort of either advocacy in that area, or just supporting players through the experiences that I've had, both highs and lows in the game, and supporting the next generation, really.
It must be really tough for young players. I mean, you came through the Charlton system, but you had to go elsewhere to carve out your career. But it must be hard for young players at the age of sort of 17, 18, and they've got their heart set on playing for whatever club it is they're at, and then they find that they're cast adrift at a relatively young age as well. Probably not mature enough to be able to cope with the pressures and what's actually happened to them. For most people, that kind of disappointment only comes later in life. But for footballers, it can happen quite early, can't it? So I guess the work that you do there, helping young players, is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, no, 100%, and I agree with you. And I think sometimes we forget how young these players are. Teenagers being released. People in their early 20s, and they have no other profession but football. Like, where do you want them to turn? Dealing with emotion, dealing with life, dealing with starting a family, finances, all of these different things where the sacrifice of football can maybe shelter you from these things, and sometimes players can be seen as commodities. You scored this many goals, or you're playing well, or you're no good to our team because you're injured, or you're out of form. We've got to remember that we're human beings as well. And I think if we can bring that message across fans, we can bring that message across boardrooms, we can bring that message across changing rooms, I think the ecosystem of football will be a much better place, especially with the high statistics that so many people aren't necessarily going to make a career from the game. So, that's probably the seat that I sit in from kind of the experiences that I've had with my studies and just finishing my master's degree and talking to so many different people, being on journeys and coach journeys, sitting with players for hours and having conversations, just having that understanding of both sides, the corporate and the business side, but also the playing side, and saying, how can we bring this together so it's a win-win for everybody, and that's what we want at the end of the day, because it's a beautiful game. Football is a beautiful game.
I'll tell you what, just a brief conversation that we've had, to be honest, football needs more people like you. In fact, life needs more people like you, mate. Absolutely fantastic. I've only got one more question to ask you. And that is, Carlisle plays Sutton on Saturday, sorry. Have you got do you want to see? Sutton fans will undoubtedly watch this as well. Do you want to make a prediction, or do you just want to sit on the fence and just hope it's a good game and everybody enjoys themselves?
I'm not a huge fan of sitting on the fence, even though that sometimes comes with stick. But I just seen Carlisle batter the team the other day. So, and I've got more friends at Carlisle than I do at Sutton at the moment. So
I think you'll keep in touch with some of the lads at Carlisle, some of the people in Carlisle.
No, still do. Jack Ellis, Gabe, Terrell Thomas used to play with me at Charlton. David Adjiboye obviously played with me at Sutton.
He scored in that game that you played at Brunton Park, and he scored in the first game when Sutton beat Carlisle 4-0. So Breeze is doing really well, and Jack Ellis scored yesterday as well. So he's doing well.
Yeah, I've seen that. Terrell Thomas scored I think it was last week. So it's so still got some good ties and connections up there. So I'm thinking, just with the form that Carlisle are in and just their ambitions for the season, I'd probably be swaying towards Carlisle. I'm not 100% sure score wise, but yeah, they've got a strong outfit this season.
It's been absolutely fantastic to speak to you, Tobi. The work you're doing and the work that you've done in the past is absolutely fantastic. You got your book out in December, you said? More than just a footballer?
Yeah,
more than a footballer. Get into the Blues store. I think that would be an interesting read, and I'll certainly be getting a copy myself. But yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic talking to you, mate.
Yeah, no, thank you so much.
Well, yeah, you can do it. I'm starting to record, okay. So, Jigs, are you heavily involved with the sports club, doing the mascots for donkey's years? You're the oldest bloke supporting Carlisle because you're still wearing the original Sutton United shirt. Yeah. Are you going to Sutton next week?
There's only one SUFC.
SUFC.
Nothing to do with second back.
No, exactly, you're going to wear that SUFC.
I should actually wear this, but I may be in the Sutton end.
Okay, is that because you've changed your loyalty?
Not at all. I'm a South West London boy. I've got mates to go up with Chelsea and other teams, and one of them started going Sutton, and he's actually sent me to go with him.
Fair enough.
It leaves it open that I'd have to get a ticket before.
Brilliant. So, what's your prediction for the score next Saturday against Sutton?
The Saturday against Sutton. This ain't next Saturday, is it?
No, it's next Saturday. It is, This is going to be. This is going to make great television.
I'm away next Saturday. Is it really next Saturday?
It's next Saturday.
Oh, cancel it.
No, all right. Well, what's the score going to be?
Faversham. We're gonna beat Sutton 2-1.
All right. From the man who's not going to go. All right. This is a waste of the battery. Yeah, hi, we're outside the Doghouse in Wallington, and I am with a Sutton United supporter. Would you just like to introduce yourself, please?
Hi, my name's Phil. I'm also known as the Wing Commander. And I've been a supporter for Sutton United over 10 years now, having been frustrated with football elsewhere in this area. I
think a lot of people are frustrated with the big clubs, and Wing Commander, you've certainly got the tash for it. Now, you're a big Sutton fan. Clearly, next week, Carlisle travel down to Sutton. So, how have Sutton been playing this season? You've got 2 or 3 games into the season. How are things going?
3 games tonight, and last I looked, we're losing 4-0, and not a result unwanted.
Yeah.
But the previous 2 games, one away at York, we came back from 2-0 down to 2-2, and we had the other 0-0 draw against Solihull Moors.
Yeah. I mean, York are like Carlisle, although we've not had a great start, but York are amongst the favourites.
The start one may have wanted, however, with the pre-season friendlies, the promise in the team and new style of football obviously been brought in, and some new bits we never had before, like long throws, which we clearly haven't had before.
We suffered against long throws for the last couple of games, yeah. So with Carlisle next week, we're both in the National League. That's not where either of us want to be. How do you think you'll go against Carlisle?
I'd be very thankful for a draw, to be honest. I think Carlisle obviously got a lot to play for. They got to prove themselves, and we need to prove ourselves at home.
I think we'd be thankful for a draw, I think, after the last couple of games. And all right then, Phil, one last one. Can you give a prediction of the score?
I think I might be bold to say we go 2-2 again.
2-2?
2-2.
That is exactly the same as somebody else predicted, which you'll see a little bit more of later. But thank you very much, Phil.
Pleasure.
I think we're both having a beer inside here. We'll continue the conversation away from the camera then, shall we?
Indeed.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So introduce yourself.
I'm Nick. I'm one of I manage this pub, which is one of Graham's favourites, and I've also been a Sutton fan since I was 3 years old. And I used to be able to watch games from my bedroom window because I used to live on a house that backed onto it. So yeah, never had another club. Only been Sutton.
You pretty much go to all of the games.
Home and away, pretty much everywhere.
And the only time you miss a game?
When I'm watching Wales international football. So yeah.
When was the last time you missed a Welsh game?
Last time I missed a Wales game was about 13 years ago, unless you include a friendly against Gibraltar that I don't count because they arranged it with 2 weeks' notice.
All right, fair enough.
But other than that, not missed one for a long time.
So you're definitely a Sutton United tragic.
Yes, 100%.
I was down at the club yesterday. They gave me kind permission to film around the empty stadium, and I was talking to Phil Tatzel.
Yeah, Phil Tatz in his shorts, guaranteed.
Yeah, I just mentioned your name, and he said, "Oh yeah, yeah." So you are known, and I've seen you on television at Sutton games and at Welsh games. So you're always there. Right? Okay. Sutton tragic. You've seen all four games so far this season.
Yeah. Well, not the National League Cup because I don't go, but that's a different story.
It's not a different story. We've not entered it this year.
Yeah.
We were very reluctant to enter a previous competition in the EFL. Crowds were down to about 700 or 800. Rubbish competition. But you've played 3 league games so far.
Yeah.
We're doing this before the weekend when you play Scunthorpe. So how's it been? It's 1 loss, two draws.
Yeah, it's been steady. Like obviously, when you see a 4-0 defeat, you think, oh, that's a disaster. But Forest Green have a huge budget. It's away. It's midweek. I wasn't expecting to win, so if we're going to lose a game 4-0, I'd rather lose a game that we were probably going to lose maybe 1-0 or 2-1.
You had opportunities.
A little bit early doors, but then it ran away from us a little bit. They were going straight through the middle of us quite easily, and we did look a bit poor, unfortunately. But I think. But then when we played York at the start of the season, we competed really well. We frustrated them. We came from behind as well. So York and Forest Green are probably most people's top 2, maybe with Carlisle as 3rd or 4th. Exactly. So we've got a really good away point against one of the top sides with a big budget, and we've got thumped 4-0 midweek away. So
in between that, you had a 0-0 home draw with Solihull, who we drew with 1-1 on Tuesday. So we're kind of in the same ballpark.
Yeah, we probably should have won the Solihull game. We were definitely the better team. We were edging it. We had a few chances. There was a point. I think Jack Wadham had a shot from the edge of the area that went maybe a yard wide. Yeah. He hit it really sweet, and there was that brief moment where you thought, yes, we're going to nick it 1-0. We played really well, and it didn't quite happen. So, I'm more positives than negatives, really. I'd say the 2 draws to start the season were both games that we were played really well in, and Wednesday was just as soon as the second goal went in, it was like, oh, we're not going to come back, and it just sort of went away, and that happens in football, you know.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anything to panic about yet.
No, certainly not. Pretty much the same kind of start that we were fortunate. Oh, actually, we played very, very well at Woking. 1-2-0, never really in any trouble. We took over 1,000 to that game. I found the atmosphere quite strange because we were strung along anyway. So you didn't kind of get this critical mass that creates the atmosphere.
No, that's the bit where you can tell that it used to be a very low Isthmian League ground until they built that huge stand at the end.
Yeah. But then I think the other factor was we just did not know what to expect after having 2 years of miserable football, disastrous results, successive relegations. I think there was certainly an air of nervousness, which was dispelled with a good 2-0 performance, but subsequently we were lucky to get a draw against Bournemouth at home 3-3.
Yeah.
We were 1-0 behind, 3-1 ahead. Drew 3-3, we had 2 late goals, centre half Carey at the time. Terrell Thomas and Aaron Hayden were on the same page. They came back, and then we had a pretty mixed performance midweek against Solihull. You've got a tough games coming up over the bank holiday.
Yeah. This to use the cliche, but they'll be big strong, classic northern teams. You know, they're whatever you want, but Scunthorpe and Rochdale.
Sorry, if from Carlisle. Scunthorpe and Rochdale are the Midlands.
Well, but
the north starts at Penrith.
Fair enough. But yeah, we know what we're going to get. We've never got a result at Rochdale. We've always seemed to fight. Last season, we found a way to throw it away in the last minute. I think the season before we just got soundly thumped. So it would be, again, any point away is a good point. So that, aiming for that. But I'd like to think we can beat Scunthorpe. If we're not in a position to be able to win home games against teams that have come up from the league below, then our dreams of playoffs might be a little bit optimistic. You know?
Yeah, I mean, they are bigger clubs, but as you say, they just confirm my take a little bit of time to find their feet.
Yeah.
One hopes. I don't think we've got them anytime soon. But you line up this season, you've got 2 ex-Carlisle lads.
Yeah.
Carlisle players. You've got Jaden Harris.
Yeah.
How's he been going?
Well, he was out most of last season with a knee, I believe, I want to say cruciate knee injury, definitely a bad knee injury. But he started the season last season really well. He was on, pops up on the edge of the box, takes shots, takes people on. And yeah, so he's looked pretty good in pre-season. He's played all right in the games we've had, but he's coming back from a massive injury.
Right,
so
I mean, for us, he was signed by Simpson, I think, in our promotion season. It was difficult for him to get a look in. Big unit, but when we were up in League One, he was not really in the picture, and we let him go. I mean, I think National League is probably his level.
Yeah, I'd say that's no. I'd say that he's got. You can see what someone would have seen in him to sign him for a league club, and obviously we hope that will come back, and after the knee injury, whatever. But he's generally one of those guys who just plays really nicely in that little space, just behind the forward, popping up on the edge of the area, and I really want him to do well. He's a lovely bloke, really nice, really friendly. Kept coming in the bar throughout his rehab and stuff, and chatting and being positive and whatever. So you're always a bit more inclined to you're always a bit more inclined to want those sort of guys to do well. And the ability's there. It's just hope he bounces back from the injury and does well.
And the other one is Ashley
Addison.
We had him about 5 or 6 years ago. He scored 10 or 11 goals in about 40 appearances. So actually, his record wasn't too bad.
That's about what we'll be hoping for this season. Maybe a little bit more. We had him on loan from Gillingham last season, but we had Will Davis playing as the out-and-out striker, and he was more in the supporting role. Whereas this season, he's the out-and-out striker. He scored a shed load of goals in pre-season. He was scoring a goal every 25 minutes in pre-season. So hopefully that's gonna go into the league games. But again, he's a big lad. He can hold the ball up. He's faster than people think he is. There's the goal we scored against York. One of the goals we scored against York. He absolutely left their right back for dead, squared it in, and we scored off that. And I don't think their right back was expecting him to be as fast as he is, which I think catches people out. Just generally his finishing in pre-season was unreal. So we're just hoping when he gets that first clear-cut chance this season, bang, it'll go in, and then hopefully 10, hopefully 15 goals this season.
Well, I think was struggled for goals. I think for a year or two now since Amari Patrick left and Christian Dennis was the first Carlisle player to score 20 goals for a couple of decades in that promotion season. But this season, you've got Regan Linney, who was also good last season.
Yeah,
real good player.
Big goal scorer as well.
Luke Armstrong, who seems to have regained his mojo. And we've got George Kelly, who's really all Irish, shaved-headed Irishman, who looks really good. We've also got Charlie White, who's coming back from illness. Coming back from injury. Midfield, maybe it needs to be some work on there. But next week you play us.
Yes.
So what are you expecting?
I mean, based on the recent results, a 1-1 draw probably. But we've had 2 in the last 2 games.
Everybody's predicted draws.
But it's a home game. I want us to start winning our home games. The reason we finished bang in the middle of the table last year, our home form was dire.
Yeah.
If we sort that out, then we'll be in a good position. So I'd like to. I want the next 2 home games, Scunthorpe and Carlisle, with Rochdale in the middle. If we can get 4 points out of the 2 home games, then it's where we want to be. That's going to put us in. That's going to put us in the playoffs. Maybe not like third, but you only need to be 7th to be in the party. And then.
But we don't have a great record. I think we played 4 times and not
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
The first time we played you won 4-0. Grimday, that was.
Yes.
And then you won 2-0 at our place. I think we signed Tobi Silva.
Yeah.
He played for you on the Saturday. I think we signed him on the Monday.
Yeah.
I've actually got an interview with him coming up for this podcast.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, no, Toby's a great lad. He was one of those guys. He didn't score many goals, but generally when he scored, it was an important goal. And I think that happened for you guys as well.
Yeah.
But
I think he scored 4. Yeah. He was a kid of Instagram. Fair play to the family. Away fans are in a different area of the ground now.
Yeah, down the side. So we call it the curver, just as a sort of an ironic nod to the Italian sort of curvers behind goals and stuff, because it's a slightly curved bit of terracing. So that's where we was during our football league seasons. That's where we stood, because we lost the shoebox had to be removed to have an area for wheelchair users and everything else. So we moved slightly across, and we gave the behind the goal the seated stand and the terrace to the away fans, because you could then sell, for example, Bradford or Carlisle 1,300 tickets and make loads of money. Whereas now we drop down, we're like, well, let's have our end back. Because it's a lower league, we're not going to have as many games that are going to completely sell out. So now the away fans are down the side.
Yeah, I must admit, I've been there a couple of times before, watching Carlisle play, and I've looked around the ground in the visiting end, and I thought, a bit of a, no disrespect, but a bit of a ramshackle.
Oh yeah. It's everything was built in a different decade to the one. There's no consistency to it.
But enough, when I was allowed, Phil Tattersall allowed me in, just jump on the pitch on the grounds and we'll cut your head off.
Yeah, understandably so. Yeah, no, that's a Premier League. That's a Premier League pitch now. Crystal Palace paid to install it for their ladies' team to play on. So,
but I think it's trained. I think. Right. But actually, walking around the ground, it's a very interesting ground. It's not,
there's character.
It's character, full of character.
Yeah, it's an ugly dump if you don't like it, and it's a characterful place if you do. But it's I obviously love it, but that's because it's tied into so many happy memories. I'm never not going to like it, but
no, you can change your house, your wife, your job.
Yeah.
One thing you can't change is your football.
Yeah.
And if you ever meet anybody who does change his football club,
don't trust them.
Don't trust them.
Never trust them.
Okay. I'm taking a word off your time because you're actually working.
Yeah, I've let my staff know that I am skiving, and I've apologised to them. So,
but thank you very much for your time.
No worries.
Give you place a little bit of a plug because you're in the finals.
Yeah.
London.
So we won Greater London Pub of the Year, and that puts us in the top 16 in the country, and then that goes through to another voting stage and whatever. But if you're a Carlisle fan, get off the train at West Sutton. Don't go. You can get the train to West Sutton from Carshalton. So we're in Carshalton. It's 2 stops. It's pretty quick round. Check it's actually running, because I haven't. But you can come here for a pint before the game, and you can easily get round to West Sutton.
I did check. So West Sutton, to reiterate, West Sutton Station, West Sutton to Carshalton. Carshalton Station, turn right, go down the hill, turn right out of the station, go down the hill, turn left at the bottom, and it's a couple of minutes walk.
Yeah.
And believe me, it's the best pub in London.
And if the train just gone 2 is running, you can come here for a couple of hours and you'll easily make kick-off. No problem at all.
All right. Thank you very
Pleasure,
much.
Mate.
Aha! Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Tim Vine here. I've just been doing a Plastic Elvis concert, but I've come out here to wish all you Carlisle fans a really good stay at Sutton United. They're coming for me. That's the place. It's an exciting place here, but you're going to have a great time, I'm sure, at Sutton United. And the National League's a place to be. You've got a question for me? I do. I have one question for you. Yeah, I know I've heard that you go to a lot of the Sutton games. Well, some.
Well, some of them. Okay, that's fine. What do you reckon the score will be? Sutton United versus Carlisle on the 30th of August.
Right, with all due respect to Carlisle, 2-2. What a terrible prediction.
To whom? 2-2 to whom?
2-2 to Sutton
2-2
United.
to whom? 2-2 to Sutton.
Yeah.
I reckon it'll be 2-2 to Carlisle.
Well, I bet you it won't.
Cheers, Jim. Thank you.
Right.
Well, that's the first one done. We'll be doing it every now and then. Nerve-wracking for me. Never done this before. I hope you enjoyed some of this, at least. It's going to be an occasional series. Can't promise that we're going to do it for every single game. I'll be looking to do one for the Altrincham game, and probably one a month after that. The Altrincham game, I'll be doing a lot on Zoom because I'll be enjoying Bosnia for a couple of weeks. But yeah, just follow the London branch on social media. We've got an absolutely fantastic website. We're on X, we're on Blue Sky, we're on Facebook. I'm not sure, I think maybe Instagram as well. So until then, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.